Okay, I think I remember. And that is, so a ghost can liberate itself through other beings' hearts that these beings open up to them. And for me, it was, I had that thought, and in that moment, I really felt empathy. I thought, wow, imagine yourself like this stuck being, and you don't know how to get home, and there's a light, and that being said, go into the light, but this is the only light you see. It's inside of that being. And it's like, where am I supposed to go? Can you help me? And for that moment, I had empathy, and it was like, wow, that must be terrible. Of course, you can go through my heart. You know, it's like it just felt like a portal. It just felt like a portal. It didn't feel like something foreign is coming into my body. It didn't feel like that, and I knew. I understand that much, that my heart is a portal all the way to God, all the way to the pure light at the center of the sun. You know, like the sun, I don't mean this sun, I don't know about that, but I mean when I say the sun now in this particular series of videos, I mean the image I used as a description of, to describe this structure of how it works, how it's built. Yeah. So, and it felt just like very similar to just relaxing, and then all that which was a little bit unsure and uneasy about what I was feeling relaxed, and it went away. And I don't have the feeling that being came back yet. So I because I also heard that it's possible, I think it's possible that it happened, and maybe not, I don't know. But a demon, on the other hand, if you open your heart, if that should happen, okay, because it's a whole other feeling. I find it, I haven't been able to open my heart to a demon. Like last night, I didn't open my heart to the demon. I didn't feel that like I felt for the ghost. I didn't feel empathy. I didn't even get to do that. It went all so quick, and and I also, I mean, I know this from an understanding level, which I'll say in a moment. It was that I was open to my own fear, because that's how you release yourself out of the paralysis. So I was like in the paralysis, and then it's like, oh, I know what this is. Nothing I need to be afraid of. All, you know, I just feel myself, and it's gone. I just feel myself. I become aware of what's going on, and I feel myself, and it's gone. I mean, I still woke up. And there was still that realization, wow, that was pretty big one, pretty big dude, pretty big impact. But it was more like interesting, you know. I never had that experience. But you see, it was only that one moment of fear that wasn't like terrifying, you know. It was just like a little bit. Because it can't go that deep anymore, because I've experienced similar very often, and I remember that I remember it so deeply already. I remember it all the way into when the body is sleeping, and when I'm having a dream. I remember in the dream that when that happens, that just to connect with my body, just to go, no, relax. There's nothing to be afraid of. Just feel yourself. And you know what it really is? It's opening up to that where there is a closing, really. So there's a closing out of fear, and then you just surrender to that closing. You surrender to the feeling of closing, and then the closing opens up. But you don't have to be afraid that you open up to a demon to come into your body. No, because that's never going to happen. It can't. It actually is quantum physically impossible. And so you're just opening up to your heart. You're opening up your heart. And you do that by releasing the fear. You release the fear by feeling it, by feeling the contraction. You feel the contraction. And you open up to it. You open up to that which you are closing yourself off to. Not as an idea, not in the thinking process, just in the physical. Yeah? And then your heart opens, and see, the demon wants the opposite. The demon wants your heart to close, to go in fear, and so you squeeze that essence out, your soul essence out. You lose a little bit of drops, a little bit of, from your soul. And a trauma would be you lose a little big piece of your soul, So when you open your heart, that's what they're most afraid of, because they can't go through the heart, because they're terrified of it, because that would be their death. That would be their ultimate, completely total annihilation. They don't know that it would be God doing this. God doing this, and that they are the tip of the finger of God. They don't know that. They can't conceive that. And so when they see the light, they see their demise, and they're just out of there. They're just okay. And so a body where they see the light, and where they see, like, wow, that body even remembers into the dream, and it's kind of dangerous, because if I go and scare that person to get loose from it, it might actually open up their heart. They might actually open up their hearts. and so that's exactly the opposite of what they want. So in a way, no, not in a way, it actually is exactly like that. You open yourself up to yourself, and that may seem like, and that's why we close ourselves off the body, where we are identified with the body, we close ourselves off to the demon, and we're in fear, But where we are not identified with the body, we can open up, because that level knows the truth. And is not afraid of the demon either. And actually, I don't even know if they can see it. If that level can see, they can see it. They can see it. Okay, that level can see it. But they're just told, it's like you're terrified of this mosquito, right? Because you've been told that one bite of this mosquito is your death. And then you realize that somebody tells you, that mosquito can't even bite. That's not even a mosquito. It's one of those little things, that goes and changes pollen from, exchanges pollen on that plant. It can't bite. It's like totally harmless. And this person happens to be like a botanic master or something. And so you realize you need to have no fear from this tiny little fly. And so that's when the soul remembers itself in the dream, and it's like it doesn't even see a demon. It doesn't even see anything. It's just feeling this. Luckily, that's good, that we don't need visuals. I'm glad. They don't have that, because they're not coming in the dream. They're not meeting me in the dream. They're coming from not the dream world. They're coming from this reality. They're coming in the real world. Even though they're on the soul level, they don't interact in the dream. They interact with the physical, because they vibrate so low. So, for example, when a human being crosses over, leaves their body, their soul, the soul of that human being, can keep that form, still look like that, and come to visit you in a dream, and you can see them in your dream, like like almost exactly. I mean, only from waking up, I would say it's not as real as in reality. But in the dream, it's as real as it gets. That's how I've seen some of people that were very close to me that I love very much in my dream after they passed on. Yeah, no, the demon doesn't come into that world of the dream. I don't think it has that potential. I don't think it has enough light, enough power, enough. Yeah, I don't know the mechanics of it, but it comes to your body and your body feels it, and because your body feels it, it manifests in a certain way in your dream as well, but not as necessarily as the body of the demon that just came to you to scare you and it's just scary when they come close and sit on you. It's scary, you know. They don't even have to do much. I mean, it's enough if they just come and lay on top of you. Okay. Yeah, and then, for example, then in the dream, like last night, it was that I just felt cornered from a presence, from another being that I couldn't see, but it was definitely there. I could feel it. And the thing is, when they throw themselves into you, so when it threw itself into me, it was really physical. I can feel it physically, and that's that moment when I don't see anything, but when it's like, as if there was an invisible dementor there that would be sucking out your life essence, and it's like you're completely paralyzed, and then there's this fear, and really the fear is the paralysis. So as soon as I become aware of that, I just feel the fear, and that's something I do all the time. I mean, no, not all the time, but I have, since I've understood this, that the way to heal the fear is to feel it when it's triggered, when it comes up, and it's like that with all negative emotion. So, and then it shows itself that it's true, and it feels really good. So immediately you go from feeling really bad to better. And always better. The more you sit, the more present you are with that feeling in your body. The more present you are with that feeling in your body, the less you can be, if at all, you can't be entertaining a story in your mind. It's like, so you are in a meditative state and you are present with those parts of yourself in your body that are in fear. Yeah. And in that moment, I woke up. Okay, after I realized that, and that started happening. Like I went into the feeling. I woke up, and the being was like, I think it was gone. I'm not sure. It was either gone instantly, and I was just. My body just had a memory of it for like maybe a second or two, 3, maybe at the most 3 seconds. It had a memory, and then that was gone too. And then there was just the memory of the experience in my head. But it was absolutely gone. The being was gone. Or it took that long for the being to go so far away that I didn't feel it anymore. I don't know.